Welcome, lovely level-headed Libras. It is Sachi, and we are here to do some shamanic shifting where we take a look at your current energy, take a look at what your manifestation goal is, and then look at how we can take your current energy and transmute it into your goal. So a couple announcements before we begin. I am now exclusively doing my readings on YouTube, so if you are here from Instagram, just know that all the readings will be here until further notice. Additionally, if you've been, watching me on YouTube, you're just going to notice that my readings are going to be longer than the 15 minutes that they have been in the past. It's going to be really nice not to feel rushed anymore. And just a reminder that the top 2 videos with the most likes do get a bonus. And additionally, whoever comes in first and gets the most likes gets the extended for free the next month. Including the bonus. So just keep that in mind. My books are closed again. They were open. I had them closed for about 2 months. I opened them up again and everything sold out in a little bit over 2 weeks. So thank you very much for everyone who has purchased a private reading, astrological code hacking, or spiritual mentorship. It really means a lot to me. And if you weren't able to book with me, just know that my books are closed currently, and just keep an eye out for when they open again. And I make all my announcements on my Instagram page. So, anyway, let's hop into it, shall we, Libra? This is what came out in the cleansing ceremony. We had the Empress in reverse, 3 of Pentacles in reverse, Knight of Swords in reverse, and Emperor. So, this is really telling me a lot because the past, I want to say 3 or 4 readings for you, Libra, you've always had the Empress coming out upright, and that was sort of like your card, right? And she is represented by Venus, traditionally more Taurus, but I always love it when Libra comes out as the Empress. But now it's coming out in reverse. So this can be feeling, not as abundant as you want to be, or not as, fertile or creative as you want to be. So it's really telling me that your divine feminine essence when it comes to play, fun, relaxation, creativity is a bit topsy-turvy. With the 3 of Pentacles here, this is telling me it has something to do with a work situation or the type of work that you're doing. With the Knight of Swords and the Emperor, Knight of Swords in reverse and the Emperor coming out upright, what this felt like to me is that you're working harder, not smarter. And I don't mean that in a rude way, but that's kind of how it feels of like, it feels like there's this Emperor energy, whether it's your own masculine energy or an external force that's like, you have to do this, you have to do this, go, 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 do, do, do. It's like the masculine energy is really, taking over in a way that doesn't leave room for the feminine to just exist, right? Like, look at her. She exists to create, eat fruit, be beautiful, and a list. And it feels like, there's just not enough space for that right now. With Clefable using Follow Me, some of this can be in terms of a soulmate relationship, right? Fairy type is soulmate or a soul contract. You do this, I do that. We have so many different types of soul contracts. But it looks like you're in a soul contract of someone who is either you want to follow them or you're trying to get people to follow you in some sort of way. With Parasect using X Scissor, this is telling me there is a parasitic relationship of an ex in the past. It doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. It could be an ex-friend or something. But there is a parasitic, ex that you have cut out but still need to continue to cut out that is attached to your heart chakra. Because with Seeking using Pierce, it's telling me that this person is kind of like, it's like the King of Cups, right? The Sea King, the King of Cups in reverse. So someone who is not emotionally stable that pierced your emotional body. And with Carablast using Takedown, it really took down your heart chakra. And with Double Dragon energy, this could be a twin flame situation. I mean, we do have Emperor and Empress, but again, the masculine energy is way out of whack. That isn't allowing the safety for the feminine to be upright, if that makes sense. But Double Dragon energy, when it's upright, also indicates to me Rahu in your natal chart, which represents your North Node. So, fulfilling your soul's mission, following your true north. So it looks like, there is some North Node stuff. And again, obviously, if you're following your North Node, that can definitely make some work stuff wonky, especially if there is some sort of work or job situation that isn't aligned with your soul's mission. But anyway, that's just what came out in the cleansing ceremony, Libra. We are going to see, like I said, what your current energy is, what your goal is, and then how we can transmute your current energy into your manifestation goal. Let me just drink some water real quick. I hope you are staying hydrated, Libra, drinking fresh water. All right. Let's see here. What is your current energy, Libra? I'm hearing like a lot of laughing. We have 10 of Wands, 4 of Swords in reverse, and the Empress in reverse. Yeah, so I feel like it's kind of, I'm like, okay, so the laughing, I'm hearing like, if you don't laugh, you cry, sort of. With the 10 of Wands, it seems like there are a lot of burdens that have been put on your plate, some of which are not necessarily yours. It's kind of like other people's stuff just sort of being dumped on you in some sort of way. And it's very hard for you to see where things are going right now. Like, it feels like, this is what it feels like, Libra. It feels like, you know, you were very steady of what you wanted to do. Again, you had the Empress upright so many times in your reading. And then it's like, all these different people sort of like, you know, hand you a wand or something. And now it's like, okay, there's so much going on. And now I can't really see clearly where I'm going or what I'm doing. Like, for example, let's say you're like, okay, you know, this is my plan for the week. You know, I'm going to do this Monday, this Tuesday, this Wednesday, this. And then let's say like your best friend, you know, surprises you or something and is like, hey, I'm flying in tomorrow. And then, you know, maybe your mom's like, hey, you know, I have this work thing. Can you watch my dog? And, you know, it's just kind of like that. It's just like everything, you know, other people's problems. And again, they're not all problems, right? It's like if your best friend's coming into town, that's not necessarily a bad thing. But it's like all of these things are sort of like, boom, being put on your plate. With the 4 of Swords in reverse, it kind of wants to hide. So I'm getting like you're just trying not to think about it. Is what I'm getting. You're really trying to sort of keep it out of your mental space. And I'm getting a headache right now. So I feel like there's just so much to process that you're sort of not trying to process it at this time. And with the Empress in reverse, again, it feels like because of all this stuff being put on your plate, you don't have time to rest. Or let me put it this way. You're not making time to rest or relax or be in that Empress energy of literally just existing, enjoying your life, eating fruit, having fun, you know, Empress stuff. Let's see, what's the light energy? And I'm definitely feeling like I get this energy if it's like, I can't. You know, it's like these things, even though they're not my responsibility, they are being put on my plate. And I'm totally understand. Let's see. Tell me more about this, Libra. What's going on? We have Snubble using Ruckus. Yeah, again, this is like other people's problems. Snubble represents, you know, again, it's a fairy type. So this does represent some sort of soul contract that you have. So it looks like you have a soul contract with someone. Snubble is dog spirit, which represents an aspect of loyalty. So it's like there is an aspect of loyalty in these soul contracts of even though people are causing a ruckus, you know, like, look, Snubble broke this vase and is hiding under the table, you know, not really taking responsibility. And obviously Snubble can't really, you know, think about a dog breaking something. It's not like they can really clean up their mess, right? So it does feel like there are messes that it feels like you have to take them on in some sort of way. It says, small Pokemon flee from its scary face. It is, however, considered by women to be cute. So there is this difference between like the face value of things and sort of how you're feeling about it. So again, it's like things may seem scary, but you're like, you know, you're taking it with grace is what I'm getting. Of course you are, Libra. Let's see, what's the shadow here? We have Machoke, Karate Chop, and Mudbray using Stampede. So 2 fighting types in the shadow. So, you know, there is a lot of fighting energy here, which is telling me, you know, in your sacral chakra, the way you're emotionally and sensually connecting to others is fighting energy. So it's like, again, it's like you already have this goal of what you want to do, but now it's like other people's energy are fighting with your own sort of creative power to do what it is that you want to do because you feel some sense of loyalty that you have to take care of this ruckus. With Machoke using Karate Chop and Mudbray using Stampede, I feel like you are trying to sort of cut it out. I take Karate Chop as like, you know, trying to stop it in some sort of way. But it seems like the more that you try to stop these things from going on, the more it stampedes, which is kind of like coming all at once. Machoke says, its formidable body never gets tired. It helps people by doing work such as moving of heavy goods. Yeah, so I feel like you want to be super helpful. You know, again, it's like its formidable body doesn't get tired. So even though it's like all this stuff is on your plate, it feels like, you know, you are making the energy to do this, right? Again, it's like you're, instead of using it to rest and be in that Empress energy, you're using it and expending it to help others and do things like this. And I do feel, you know, maybe some of you are trying to work out and stuff, but, you know, it's literally talking about lifting heavy things for others. And that's exactly what I was feeling in that 10 of Wands. It's like you're carrying a lot of wands and doing a lot of things, but most of them really aren't yours. So, you know, metaphorically, it feels like you're really holding a lot of other people's burdens. We have Mudbray using Stampede here again. It says, loads weighing up to 50 times as much of its own body weight pose no pressure for this Pokemon. It's skilled at making use of mud. Yeah, again, it's like, oh yeah, I can take that load on. You know, it's talking about 50 times its weight, being able to carry it. So again, it feels kind of like the weight of the world is on your shoulders right now. Like there is really a lot going on, and it feels like you feel like it's your responsibility. Because again, it feels like part of the soul contract that you have with either this person, but it feels like multiple people, to be honest, is a sense of loyalty to them to take care of the situation. It does talk about, you know, being skilled at making use of mud. So I feel like even though maybe you don't have a lot of the resources maybe that you wish you had, you are very skilled at using what you have at this time in order to accomplish the goal. Which, let's see what that goal is. So again, I feel like you're being very resourceful at this time, even if there's part of you that was like, I wish I had more resources. Let's see what your goal is for, I almost said just for this month, but let's just see what your goal is in general. Maybe if it's beyond this month or not. All right, Libra, come on. Sorry, I don't know why I was trying to rush you. We have 8 of Swords in reverse. Wow. Lovers in reverse. Hanged Man and Ace of Cups. There is a lot going on here. So it feels like you have 2 goals. Again, I would not rush yourself. With the 8 of Swords coming out in reverse, it seems like you are really wanting to let go of limiting beliefs. You know, 8 of Swords represents that, you know, she feels like she's stuck, right? And Swords energy is a mental thing, right? Mental or communicative blockage. And here she is blindfolded, you know, surrounded by swords. You know, her hands aren't tied up. She can easily take that blindfold off and see the reality of the situation. And the reality of the situation is none of these swords are in her body. You know, she can stand up and walk away. Okay. And so with this in reverse, it seems like you've already sort of taken the blinders off your eyes. You've already sort of seen a certain situation. With the Lovers in reverse, again, you know, a very disharmonious union in some sort of way. It feels like you understand certain things are not being done out of love in this regard. And with the Hanged Man, it's like trying to see something from a different perspective or help someone else see something from a different perspective. And again, Ace of Cups, that certain things are not being done out of love here. There's more with that Hanged Man, but I feel like it's more about this. Coming out stuck, we have the Knight of Cups to the Moon. Yeah, so again, there is this aspect of this ruckus and this loyalty, you know, contract, basically the soul contract of feeling loyal. We have the Knight of Cups, which, you know, is a person who comes and goes, right? It's, you know, an emotional person who comes and goes. He may offer you, you know, oh, I love you so much, but he's still a knight. He still rides off, right? So this is a come and go, unstable type of person. In this deck, he definitely is a cheeky man who will, you know, offer you a glass of wine and try to seduce you in order to, you know, accomplish whatever it is that he wants. And the Moon here is all about secrets and things that are hidden below the surface and trying to bring things to light. So it feels like, yeah, you're recognizing things that are not being done in love. And with the Hanged Man, you know, Hanged Man is basically a dead end situation. So it seems like as you're recognizing and releasing these self-limiting beliefs and, you know, things that you kept yourself blind to in the past, you're waking up to what is not love with the Ace of Cups and Lovers in reverse. And it's like, okay, I know that it needs to be a dead end with the Hanged Man. No paths lead from the Hanged Man. It's like, the Hanged Man is kind of what the DEATH card wishes it was. You know what I mean? Because that one's all about rebirth. Hanged Man is like, hey, game over, try again. A different way. You know, you can't continue to do the same thing. So it feels like, yeah, you're recognizing that. And again, it does seem about this Knight of Cups energy, a very unstable emotional energy, especially when it comes to things that have been hidden. So you may even be realizing that part of these soul contracts, like, oh, you know, maybe these are temporary soul contracts, and a lot of the fine print sort of, you know, I'm unaware of what it really is. So let's see, what's the light energy here? Yeah, I was feeling that. It like, because we saw the North Node, right? And I saw the dark energy peek its head, but it wants to hide, which is very similar to the moon. And I'm getting this energy of like, as soon as you are focused on your soul's mission, soul contracts that try to distract you really pop up. And honestly, that's what it feels like is happening here. Let's see, we have dark type, yeah, and trainer super rod. So again, this is dark energy that is stuck in the light. So it feels like you're, again, the moon is all about secrets and hidden things and stuff in the subconscious, but I was feeling this energy of trying to bring it to light. You know, the light, the moon is the light that you find in the shadow, which would be like the yang that you find in the yin, if that makes sense, you know, in terms of like the, right? It's like that little dot. And so it does seem like, you know, of bringing the hidden aspect, the shadow aspect to the light in regards to another person, right? Trainer indicates somebody else's energy. Super rod indicates someone that you feel very emotionally deep for, or someone that can get very emotionally deep inside you as well. Because, you know, super rod, like there's 3 rods in Pokemon. There's like an old rod, which you can catch like super wimpy Pokemon. Then there's a good rod, which you can catch pretty good Pokemon. And then there's the super rod, which you can go super deep in the water and catch some that are hard to find. And that's literally what it looks like, these, you know, things from the deep that are really coming up, which really reminds me of Jupiter is retrograding through the nakshatra that is known as the serpents of the depth. So it feels like you're really bringing a lot up to surface, and you want to know more about like, okay, why are these ruckus soul contracts coming up, and why do I feel a sense of loyalty to other people's problems that I am now taking on as my own, sort of thing. All right, let's see what's the shadow here. Yeah, again, dark type energy. So it's Mighty Ina. So yeah, you're trying to bring this aspect to light. And again, you know, this is another dog spirit, and dog spirit represents loyalty. So again, it's like, why is there this shadow hidden aspect of loyalty here? It says, it will always obey the commands of a skilled trainer. Its behavior arises from living in packs in ancient times. Yeah, so this seems to be a very old soul contract where, again, it's talking about, you know, listening to the commands of a skilled trainer. And we see the trainer here is someone else's energy that is either super, super deep or can touch you super, super deep, you know? So yeah, it's like, basically you just want to bring it to light because you're understanding that a lot of this energy is not, again, it's not in the vibration of love. And you're very aware of that because it's taking you out of your Empress energy. So it seems like, you know, the goal is to sort of bring it to light and figure out, why is this? If it's not love, why is it so deep like this? Very interesting. Let's see what Mother Moon has to say. Okay. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Full moon in Capricorn, and it's coming out stuck, and take time to breathe out. Yeah, it feels like this is coming to an end, and you need to take a breather. Again, you need to honor that feminine energy. even though all this stuff is on your plate, you need to make sure that you are resting, taking a break, and just sort of, you know, trying to relax as much as possible, because the end of a tough cycle approaches. And that's a part of the Ten of Wands that I didn't really pick up on, that maybe you need to remind yourself, is that you are so close. You know, there is no rush. And I felt that energy when I was like, what's your goal? Like, all right, Libra, hurry up, sort of thing. I'm like, why am I rushing you? You know, there's no reason. You know, take your time. You can even put down some of these wands and, you know, carry the rest to the end and then go back, and, you know what I mean? So the end of a tough cycle is approaching, and with full moon in Capricorn, it can have to do with, you know, your work situation. Capricorn does, you know, it does represent a lot of, you know, work ethic, climbing some sort of social ladder, or any sort of achievement that you are trying to accomplish. It can also represent issues with the paternal family lineage as well, or more distant emotional caregiver. But yeah, you need to take some time to breathe out and sort of chill for a little bit. Let's see here. Should we take a look in the Black Mirror? All right, let's see. Yeah, let's see what can help the shadow work here. I saw Naked Before the Stars, which I always take as, you know, looking at your natal chart and see what is really going on in there. It can really shed a lot of light. We have Fated to Suffer and Alone in the World. So the thing is, I feel like this is not necessarily your energy. Okay, wow, this is like really complex what I'm getting. It's something that you used to believe, that you've released the belief, but that belief is now manifesting itself in a soul contract that you feel loyal to in some sort of way. And now you're watching it sort of become your problem again, but it's like truly a way of releasing it. And part of it is this aspect of, you know, being fated to suffer, this mentality of like, you know, things are always going to go bad, and, you know, like life is suffering, that's just the way it is, sort of thing. And again, I don't feel like it's your belief, it's someone else's belief that is now being imposed on you. And even though you know it's not true, you're sort of dealing with this belief system for them. It's very, very complex. And it's because this person feels very alone in the world. So you're taking it on so that they don't feel alone in the situation, which is why you're sort of taking on this burden. So very complex shadow aspect that's coming to light here, Libra. Like I said, in the extended, we are going to see, you know, how we can take your current energy and manifest it to your goal, which again is sort of bringing this shadow energy to light and get some, you know, more information about this soul contract. And if it's not, you know, love, you know, why is it this deep? And why, you know, why is there this aspect of loyalty? And why is there this aspect of following the trainer's orders, right? Because of this ancient custom. So, like I said, if you'd like to follow me into the extended, the link is in the description box below. It is available for Eagle and Phoenix members with plans starting at $7.70, which you have access to all the extendeds, including the musings page, which has up-to-date astrological transits, and will soon have some other stuff as well. But anyway, if you'd like to follow me there, the link is in the description box below. But if we part ways here, good luck with the situation, and I'm sending you so much love.